Hey everybody, how are you? It's Dr. Cruz from Design Your Destiny with Dr. Cruz. So today I want to talk to you very quickly about something that I pray you don't do to yourself. I know many people who do it, and I'm going to pray right now that you don't do this. Don't sign yourself up for a life of misery. Do not resign yourself to a life of misery. Don't surrender to a life of misery. It does not matter what decision you've made in the past. Every day that you wake up, you have a new opportunity to do things differently. Please take it from me. You all know I grew up in foster care. I did not have parents. I could have used that as an excuse my whole life to do nothing, to be nothing, and to really just kind of dissolve in life as a miserable human being. I could have gotten on drugs. I could have, felt sorry for myself. I could have given up. I could have allowed myself to stay in relationships where I was being battered. But I didn't. And I don't want you to either. There is hope. There is a new day ahead of you, but you have to believe that. I can't believe it for you more than you believe it for you. You have to believe it for you, that there is something in you, that you were born with something in you for a purpose. There is a reason you were born, that there is a gift inside of you. Some people have special skill sets. Other people have special, just abilities like patience and listening capabilities. Some people have a heart for people. You don't know what your calling is or what your gift is until you sit with you and you begin to make why you were born the priority for your life. We make so many other things the priority of our life. We make our children and our relationships, and so many of us, we look for love. We want love so badly. We want to be in a relationship, right? It's the American culture. But I tell you right now, the love that you need to be seeking is the love inside of you. Who can love you more and better than you love yourself? And yet, how many of us have no clue how to love ourselves? I used to be one. I used to let people use me, not purposefully. I just didn't know. I couldn't recognize they were using me. I didn't know how to set up boundaries. I didn't know how to keep myself protected. I just kind of went along to, go along to get along. I didn't love me the way I should have loved me because I was interested in friendships. And then when I dated guys, I was interested in being loved instead of setting boundaries and standards for how I wanted to be treated. So no matter what decisions you've made in your past, don't settle for a life of misery, because every day that you wake up, you get another opportunity to do something different. And, I started really changing my life when one of my friends, I was trying to figure out how to become an entrepreneur. And I was asking on Facebook, asking, nobody would tell me. And I got upset and I said something, and this was probably, 10, 15 years ago. And my friend said, like Nike says, just do it. And I was like, wow. That set off so many light bulbs in my head. Just do it. That's the answer. Just do it. Whatever it is that you want to do that's going to stop you from living in a life of misery and propel you into a life of adventure and seeking out your true purpose and living a life of not just purpose, but, of giving and of loving and of contributing and of being a joy to someone's life and creating. This is what life is about. It's not about going to a job that's mundane, that you don't like, and you don't like the people, but yet every day, rigmarole, 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 you have surrendered and you have sentenced yourself to a life of misery. I did it too. For 20 years, I was in the military and I was miserable. God bless the military. I respect it for all that it is. But it wasn't where I could grow and prosper properly. I was in the wrong soil. And we have to know when we are in the wrong soil. And the wrong soil could be the wrong relationship. We could be living in the wrong community. We could be living in the wrong state. Ever since I've moved to California, I am on fire. In fact, I got to go because I'm in class. So as soon as I got to California, I jumped. I jumped is not even the word. I clobbered. I jumped on my dreams. I knew exactly what I wanted to do once I got here. And I started immediately. So you have to spend some time with yourself. Okay, forget about the mistakes you've made. Forget about the commitments you feel nailed to the cross to. No. You have 30,000 days from birth, give or take. And by the time you're middle age, you have 15,000 days to live your life. Your life. You don't owe it to anybody else. Except for your children, of course. And I don't want to get into that kind of side comment, but I want to talk about you. What are you here for? Do you feel like you can be happy? That you deserve to be happy? That you should be happy? That God wants you to be happy and to live abundantly? And to bless people? How can you bless people if you're miserable? You can't bless anything. You can't help a flower grow if you're putting urine on it. You gotta have the right energy flowing through your body to be alive, to be vibrant, to be happy, to be joyful, to be worth a damn. Make a difference in your own life. Choose to feel something new, something different, something you may not even believe that you deserve right now. But I'm telling you, you deserve it. Everyone deserves to have a great life. We just got to figure out, what does that look like? So that's your assignment, because I got to go. Your assignment is to figure out, what does a great life for you look like? Forget about your mistakes. Forget about your commitments. Forget about your fears. Forget about everything that's stopping you. And just daydream. Just daydream for a moment. Because you have value. And there's people in the world that need your value. You need your value. You need to see a reflection of the real you. You have no idea. If you've sentenced yourself to a life of misery, if you've surrendered, if you've quit, if you've resigned to the couch, if you've resigned to the bottle, if you've resigned to domestic abuse, if you've given up, if you're thinking about suicide, if you have just given up hope, you have no idea your potential. You don't know who you really are. You're a figment of the thoughts that you've been keeping. And if you've sentenced yourself to a life of misery, you need a whole new group of thoughts. Because the thoughts that you're keeping right now are destroying your life. If you're middle age, you got 15,000 days, give or take. Get on the ball. Get excited. I'm middle-aged. And I'm starting a new venture. I just moved to California, for God's sake. I don't even have my kitchen table yet. It's on the way. I don't care. I don't need a kitchen table. I'm happy. Everybody who lives for these material things but are miserable, and you check out playing your video game or watching your TV because you hate your life and you're drinking your alcohol. I used to do it. I remember. We don't always understand the difference, right? I could not readily feel what I feel today when I was surrendering to a life of misery. I could not feel what I feel today because it wasn't part of my consciousness. Now today, I cannot imagine ever living that kind of life. Smoking and drinking and smoking and drinking because I hated my life and I didn't know what to do and I just wanted to escape from it. That's not judgment. That's awakening. I want you to awaken because there's a beautiful life out here. I just went to Malibu. I spent my birthday in Malibu. My birthday's 30 days, okay? So, but I went to Malibu and I had a great time. And I went to Santa Monica Pier and I had a great time. Life's not over. I don't care how old you are or how young you are. Life, if you're young, I saw this girl on social media. She's a young mother and she's miserable because she's a single mom now. The guy, he's not worth a crap like many of them aren't. Ladies, think long and strong before you have a baby by a man. That's a long journey by yourself if you become a single parent. But she's miserable. And she hasn't even started living yet. She's like 18. She has no idea who she is. She hasn't even developed yet into her own personality. She's still growing. It's not part of our consciousness yet. So what do you got to do? You got to spend time with you and figure out, what does a great life look like for me? And you start writing that stuff down. And then what do you do? Pop quiz, what do you do? After you write it down, what do you do? I already told you. What Nike say? Then you just do it. Step by step by step by step by step, you just do it. Okay? I gotta go. Talk to you later. Dr. Cruz from Design. Design your destiny. Where else are you gonna spend your time? What's more important than designing your freaking life? Design your destiny, okay? If you need help, I'm here for you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.